Alright guys, what is going on, and welcome back to another episode of our Winnipeg Jets Legend B AGM mode. So in the last episode, we got kicked out of the playoffs by the big bad Los Angeles Kings. They swept us in 4 straight, had their brooms out, it was all over. We just could not compete. Mark Scheifele was not producing, and that's when I asked you guys in the comments from the last episode, what should we do with Mark Scheifele? He's an original Jet. There's no question he's one of the original ones, but he's not producing. I feel like he's bringing down Teemu Selanne and Paul Kariya. Obviously, Kariya and Teemu both had really good years, but imagine if we had a player like Brandon says here, his comment, he says, he just talks about the second line a little bit. We will comment on that after, but about halfway through the comment, he says, also, if you're going to trade Scheifele, I would really like to see you use Nathan MacKinnon at least once. You've never used him before. I think putting him with Kariya and Selanne would be absolutely disgusting, and I agree with that. I really do agree with that. We're going to touch back on all of this after the re-sign stage, but there's a lot of stuff going on with our team. Yes, we are prepped. We're ready to go and make another cup run, but there can be some changes. We need to get a better second line winger. There's no question about that. I feel that Palat's decent, but you know, he could be upgraded. We have the cap space. We're only going to be here for 2 or 3 more years, so we want to leave Winnipeg as the next GM mode. We want the next GM to succeed. We want to put him with players that we can, that are going to be growing. We don't want to put him with a bunch of old players. I want to set the next GM up with some prospects, with some players. I don't just want to leave him hanging dry. So there's going to be a lot of stuff done in this episode, a lot of questionable things, but I think in the end it will make sense. And Nathan MacKinnon, I will take a look at that. I'm honestly not sure if we're going to be able to do it, but as for Mark Scheifele, there's tons of comments saying, get him out of here, trade Mark, but then again, there's, don't trade Mark Scheifele, he's one of the original Jets. But we're going to go into the draft here, and we could make the trade right now. I want to make sure that, we're not going to completely rip them off. We're going to go to the trading block here, and we're going to look at Mark Scheifele's trade value. It's ridiculously high. It's very high. He's got 2 years left on his contract. He's 26 years old. He's 62 points. That's not terrible, but you're playing alongside world-class players. You're playing alongside 2 legends, Teemu Selanne and Paul Kariya. Like, you're playing alongside legends. They obviously had amazing years, but imagine if we would have had a player like Nathan MacKinnon in the mix. He's 23 years old. He's been a minus player the past couple years, so maybe he is needing to get out of Colorado, because this might be actually a perfect trade. Colorado has Peter Forsberg and Matt Duchene. They're obviously I assume they're playing what I believe is going to be Forsberg, Duchene, and Gabriel Landeskog on the first line, and Nathan MacKinnon is getting the second line, or it's basically MacKinnon, Forsberg, and Landeskog, and then either Duchene and Forsberg is on the second line. But that shouldn't be how it is. Nathan MacKinnon deserves to be a number 1 centerman in the NHL, and Mark Scheifele has not proven to be a number 1. He has not proven that at all. He's getting second line minutes on a first line. That's not good enough, and honestly, I do love Mark Scheifele. I think he's a great player. I think he's a really good second liner. Obviously, in real life, that's ridiculous, but in this game right now, he's playing like a second liner, and I don't know what else to do to make Mark Scheifele a better player. We've brought him up. We started him as like a second liner, 85 overall, mold him into 89. Wasn't quite the player I expected. Obviously, coming off not a fantastic year, only 62 points. You think, oh, well, that's pretty good, but you look at his line mates. Obviously, Teemu almost had 100 points, had 96 points, finally had a breakout year. year, and then Paul Correa taking home the Art Ross with 105. So I don't know what else to say. Mark Scheifele, you should be doing a lot better here. I could honestly probably squeeze this trade, probably give maybe a second round pick, maybe a prospect or two, but I want to make sure we're going to get this player for sure. I think getting Nathan MacKinnon would make our first line just absolutely disgusting, and then we might leave the second line alone. If we have the top end scoring, I'll be okay with Palat, Hurdle, and Philip Forsberg. Hurdle is just not getting any better. I don't know what it is. I thought Hurdle would be a lot better. He's got the potential. You know what? He's getting the second line minutes. I'm leaving the second line completely alone. But what I want to make this trade realistic. So obviously Mark Scheifele, he's a good player. He's a good enough player to play in the NHL, to be in the top 6 of any NHL squad. But Nathan MacKinnon is a player that comes around once in a lifetime, and having the studs that Colorado has, Forsberg, Duchesne, Landeskog, O'Reilly, there's really not much room for Nathan MacKinnon to be the number one player. He's going to be the number one guy. He's going to be the number one dude on our team. So I want to make sure this trade is going to go through. I think we're going to have to make this trade happen. I'm going to give Price up, and we don't need to give away a goalie. We don't need to give, because they obviously have Varlamov. We can trade Reimer in the offseason. So Scheifele, a first, Price. Honestly, that'll probably go through, but I don't want to make this crazy unrealistic. So we are going to have to give up a couple more prospects. We're going to give up JC Lapon 2, and we're going to give up Askew, we can't. He's too many players. That's going to be how it is, I guess. I want to give up another pick as well. Honestly, like I said, I could get this trade easily, no problem, but this is Nathan freaking MacKinnon we're talking about. This isn't some random scrub. This is Nathan MacKinnon. We have to give up, what I believe he's worth, and this trade would probably go through. We got Mark Scheifele, a first-round pick, Ethan Price, who is a top-tier sniping prospect. He's a first-round pick. He's ready to go. He's 78 overall. Couple more years, he's going to be a stud on your line, on your second or your third line. JC Lapon, who never really got the jump, 76 overall, just a minors player, and a second-round pick from this year. I want to give up our first instead. Yeah, so we'll give up our first for this year. Let's make this as realistic as possible. So Mark Scheifele, a first, a top-tier prospect, maybe not top-tier, but a mid-level to top prospect, JC Lapon, and a second-round pick in this year. I can't see why this trade wouldn't go through. Will it go through? Nathan MacKinnon, are you coming to Winnipeg? Yes, he is. Colorado Avalanche fans are going to be cheering in the streets when we announce this deal. I'll take deals like this any day of the week. You're thinking, well, you probably could have got that trade for way less, but you got to make it a little bit realistic, because obviously Nathan MacKinnon is not getting traded anytime soon. I'm going to go ahead and write down the top 5 picks, and we'll see if we can find a home for James Reimer. So we're going to get the re-sign stage done here, kind of see where our team is at, and then we're probably going to have to trade James Reimer, because we have some goalies coming up, and I want to make sure. I believe that this McCollum guy is going to be a backup probably for next year. He's 80 overall. I can see him jumping to like 82, 83, plus we have Keller too, is going to be, I want him to get the starts in the minors for next year. So what I'm going to do is quickly go ahead and re-sign everybody here. This video might be a long one. Gribo we could say goodbye to, but Palat we're going to give a contract to. I want to get Palat 3.7 for 4 years. Seems like a pretty fair contract. You're looking at like 50 points a year from Andre Palat. Exact same thing with Thomas Hurdle. If I get you for 3.1, I will be a happy general manager. There you go, 3.1. Scott Lawton, who's honestly probably going to get the fourth line minutes this year, because I believe Marcus Kruger should get a jump up. He might be like 83 or like 84 by come next year, which would be pretty sick. Kosmachuk, all these guys are just minor guys. You guys can totally feel free to skip over a couple minutes, because re-signing players is honestly so boring, but people do get upset when I leave it out, so I thought I would just go ahead and get everything done right now. Chase DeLeo, all of these guys going to play in the minors, but go ahead and skip a little bit forward if you wish. because this part is kind of boring. But Tyson Bailey, we can give another contract to. All these guys are just basically going to play in the minors. Tender qualifying to you. Nikolai Ehlers, we got to give a contract to. 1.6 for 1 year. Can I lock you up for a little while? Can I get you 3 years at 1.745? I would like that deal. Good third liner, Kevin Fiala, give contract to Skapsky. This guy's kind of a question mark. 1.2 for 2 years. I can honestly live with that. Braden Lemieux, tender qualifying. Thomas qualifying. Braden Point qualify. Nicholas Malash. Oh, he's already signed. So rookie goalies now. Goalies, Holmberg guy, he can just go to free agency. I don't even care. Eric Comrie, here is a guy we got to lock up. 3.7 for the next 4 years. If we want to sign him long term, it's going to be big money. Almost 6 years for 4.5. That seems, you're a starting goalie, you're a Vezina Trophy Calder winning champion is what you are. So we're going to go ahead and give you 4.5 for 6 years. That's a realistic contract. I can definitely live with that. And potentially our next backup goalie, McCullum. There you go. So that should be everyone that's re-signed. Now let's go ahead and have a look at the top 5 picks from this year. We got Nathan MacKinnon. That was the big fish. I'll talk more about Nathan MacKinnon and all that stuff for next year, but let's go ahead and check out the top 5 picks right now. So Anaheim got the guy Keith. He was top 5 for basically the whole year. What's his potential looking like? Keith, he's 71, 4.5 green star. So yeah, he's definitely sick. Keith looks really, really sick. Who's next here? We got Arizona picking up a guy named Cool. I think his name is Kuhl. Where is he? Cool. I don't know how to pronounce his last name. Cole or something. He might be a defenseman, to be honest. He probably is. And they got Emil Cool, who's 76 overall, 4.5 gold star. So he's pretty sick. The Rangers, I believe, got the goaltender. Go ahead, check New York. New York. That's actually really smart for the Rangers to get a goalie because they have nobody after they have absolutely no one after Henrik Lundqvist called it quits. So that's smart. I like that the computer chose the goalie. 3rd overall, Nick Betts, going to be the next king of New York. Calgary got a guy named Rippin. I believe his name was Cam or Cal. Starts with a C. Rippin, where is he? Craig Rippin. Okay, so Craig Rippin, 4.5 stars. 80 overall out of the draft. Holy crap. And the Hawks got a guy named Seagal, I believe his name is. Maybe Steven Seagal's cousin or something. We got to go all the way to Chicago, and they got Seagal, who is 79 out of the draft. The NHL is just filled with top-end talent here. Holy crap. But I do want to get the re-sign stage. We'll get all of this done, see who is coming to Winnipeg. Breaking news, McKinnon has been shipped off to Winnipeg. Honestly, that's a trade I could see going through in this game. They had the studs, they had the team set, and Nathan MacKinnon did not fit into the game. And unfortunately, Nathan MacKinnon was kind of the odd man out. But Hurdle is back. That's good news. Palat's back. Kosmachuk, Bavintsev, Lawton, McCollum, Ehlers. All of these guys are back. I give everyone a pretty decent contract. That's cool. We got Comrie back. So we're heading into the free agency period here. I can't see us making any free agent moves. We'll have a look. All of these prospects are back with us. I'll have a look to see if there's any prospects that we could possibly go after. Anyone that could even help our team. Helm was a guy I wanted to go after for the 3rd line, but we ended up getting Scott Lawton anyways, so I'm cool with that. Really no prospects that's even worth going after here. So it's time to trade James Reimer. This is going to hurt me. Honestly, I loved having Reimer in Winnipeg. He played phenomenal coming over, won us a Stanley Cup, won a Vezina Trophy, and I've tried to have as much loyalty as I can to James Reimer. I've held on to him for as long as I can, but now is the time to trade James Reimer. So what we can do here is I want to give him to a team that is struggling for goaltending, and that team is the New York Rangers. They lost Henrik Lundqvist, and it's not looking good for them at all. So I honestly don't need anything ridiculous. Maybe just get a couple minor players, and we'll kind of just part ways with James Reimer. We'll get a 2nd round pick, and maybe just some random prospects. 77 overall. He could play in the minors. He's 23. Looks really weird. He's got ridiculous skating. He's stupidly fast. We'll get him and a 2nd round pick for James Reimer. Honestly, I want to help the Rangers out, and I feel like since we just got Nathan MacKinnon, we're okay. We can give away James Reimer, not necessarily give him away. And, you know, probably get maybe a third out of this. Will that go through? A third, a second. We're just kind of parting ways. It's not like I want to get a crazy return for James Reimer. I'm totally cool with him going to be the #1 guy in New York. He deserves it. Will this go through? No. How about just a second and Abu Asli? Will this go through? Abu Asli, a second for rhyme time. There we go. Cue the sad music, James Reimer. Oh, buddy, I'm sorry I had to trade you. I really am, but we have a new breed here. We got Nathan MacKinnon, baby. We're totally fine with that. Good luck, James Reimer. Good luck in the Big Apple. You deserve the best, buddy, and I wish you the best. Bring a cup to the Big Apple after we win it next year. But I'll see you guys at the start of the regular season. We'll have a look at the team, and then we will cut this video off. I feel like since we got Nathan MacKinnon, I'm happy with that deal. I'm happy with the team. We're moving along with the team we have right now. I'll see you guys at the start of the regular season. Okay, it's crunch time for you, the GM of the Winnipeg Jets. It's a crunch time for all of us. We potentially only have 2 more years here. I might only want to go to year 8. To be honest with you, on a real level, I'm kind of getting a little bit bored with Winnipeg. There's a lot of things I want to do differently for my next GM mode, so I kind of want to get this one out of the way, but we're going to probably go 2 or 3 more years here. But he said, just to let you know, if you don't do well this season, your job may be in jeopardy. I just won you a Stanley Cup I just won you a Stanley Cup like less than a year ago. What are you talking about? However, I'm sure that you will get the 39 wins that I'm expecting of you to keep me happy, right? I hope so, man. I really hope so. So let's actually, I'm going to log out here. I'm going to save and then come back in, so all my players should refresh. I'll do that really quickly, and then I'll see you guys in a second. All right, so here is a look at the new first line. Look at that, 91 overall Nathan MacKinnon. Holy crap. I'm expecting him to be like plus like 65 this year, playing alongside Timu and Paul Correa. Oh my god. But it's exactly what I was expecting. We got Marco. Why is Mato or whatever there? What is going on? Hold on a second here. I gotta fix this. We gotta probably bring up Bjorkstrand, it looks like. So it's gonna be Correa, MacKinnon, Solani, Forsberg, Hurdle, Palat, Ehlers, Kruger, Andrew Shaw, Bjorkstrand, Lawton, and Skapski. So I like that a lot, to be honest with you. And then defensively, J Money 88 overall, Trouba, our captain, 89, D'Angelo 85, Stahl 87, Alexiak 84, and Meloche 80. And in the cage, Comrie 86, and I was right, McCollum is now 82. He's probably listed as a backup. Hopefully I can see that. I'll probably have to go to here and see what's going on. I want to send this other guy down, though. I want to send my toe back down. Rookie goalies. Definitely a rookie goalie, but he is listed as a backup. So we got a backup and we got a starter, and we have Keller as well, who's going to come up, probably be our backup for next year. So there's a lot of stuff going on here. I'm going to get the preseason. Oh my god, look at this. We have a back-to-back home at home with the Colorado Avalanche to start off year number 6. That is ridiculous. MacKinnon, Mark Scheifele, they're coming back to their home rink. That could not have worked out any better. That could not have worked out any better at all. Conference semifinals this year. Pretty high expectations, but I am happy with the move to get Nathan MacKinnon. That is a blockbuster deal. 8-5. Holy, putting up numbers here. Putting up numbers. Oh, Colorado. Come on. Let's stick it to him. Come on, MacKinnon. Come on, MacKinnon. 5-2 loss. Oh, that sucks. But I want to thank you guys for watching. That was a huge blockbuster trade. Salary cap, that's totally fine. So thanks for watching, guys. Let me know your honest opinions in the comments down below. There's a couple comments saying that they're bored of this GM mode, and that sucks. I don't want that to happen. I try to bring as much spice and as much, I try to, change things up a bit, try to keep things interesting with my GM modes, but sometimes the simple key is to just keep it simple. And for the next GM mode, I can promise you it will not be as, not ridiculous, but somewhat more of calm down, actual GM mode. This with the Legends was a bit crazy. It was cool. I wanted to try it out, but we have a couple more years here with the Winnipeg Jets. Nathan MacKinnon, he is flying high, soaring high with the Jets. Super stoked to see what he's going to do with this team. Let me know your guys' comments down below. I'll see you guys in the start of year number 6 in the next episode when we got the home and home against Nathan MacKinnon's old team and the return of Mark Scheifele to the MTS Center. It's going to be crazy.